Late Night Health continues. I'm Mark Alyn. Dorothy, the organizer, is our guest. She organizes people. She stops people from hoarding. And I'm going to ask, how many paper clips do you have on your desk or in your paper clip holder right now?
I can count. I'll do a visual count. I've got about 35 in a beautiful green stain depression glass cup. You?
I have no clue. I don't even know where my paper clips are. Is that a sign of disorganization?
Well, not always. You know, I've got my right brain clients and my left brain clients. Don't forget, I live here in the Hollywood area. I've got a lot of celebrity clients, a lot of artists. So my right brain people are artists, and they actually need a little bit of chaos in order to be creative. So I have to be careful on how I organize my right brain people versus my left brain people.
It's interesting, I just wrote an article earlier today for, I don't know if it'll be published, for the Carol Roth marketing blog. And I've been published on there numerous times over the last few years, and it was what happens when your creative dries up, and how do you overcome it?
Yeah.
And it's interesting. I think if I was in a real clean office, it would bother me. But at the same time, I don't like the dust. Oh, well. What is the number 2 thing to do once you realize, all right, I'm really not so sick that my life is falling apart and I'm hoarding urine or belly button, but I want the clutter to go away?
Yeah. So a couple of things. One, I want you to think about organizing according to how your brain type is, which is, how do you think? How do you like to organize? Now, most people in the world, and I'll take paper as an example because that's one of the leading offenders, too much paper. So most people in the world are pilers and stackers. Are you one of those people?
On the floor.
You got it. So we're told everywhere that we should be filers, but in fact, we're mostly pilers these days. So I say, go with what you naturally do. Take a bookcase, for example, Mark, and clear the books off the bookcase. That's valuable real estate. Change it over and start your piles. Very specific piles, bills to be paid, items to read, summer camp for the kids, whatever it is, and put little sticky notes on the bookshelves, and then just have your piles, but have them, like with like, and that makes it much easier to deal with, and you can find what you're looking for when you need it.
Interesting. What do and I can replace the piles on the floor by putting the books on the floor.
Exactly.
That makes sense to me.
And the books don't slide as easily as the paper piles, right?
Into each other.
Yeah.
Are people becoming more and more disorganized?
It's not stopping, and I would say the answer is yes, because you alluded to it earlier. We've got so many choices, plus we can buy things in multiples, and we feel like we can do everything on our own, from newsletters to whatever it is. We can do it all online. Just because we can do it doesn't mean we should do it, but we think we should. We have all these opportunities to do these things, but we don't even know how to manage our time anymore because we have so many things that we can do ourselves. We have all the apps to teach us how, all the videos to show us how to do it.
But, people tell me I can do my own radio show. I've got the app, or I can do a video, or I can write a book.
Yeah.
But the creative element is something that CPA or attorney who comes to me and asks me for help after they've experienced 6 months of looking at this app that's supposed to create a book or a video or a podcast or radio show, they don't have the skill or the background to do that.
Right.
And so they get frustrated and it piles up. To me, that's where a pile would start.
That's where the piles start, with all of these good intentions. We all have good intentions, and one of the reasons that we do have so much clutter, whether it's in our minds or whether it's on our dining room tables, is because of the indecision. And the guy who comes to you about the radio show is indecisive about whether to really go all in and learn it or not. We're looking for the simplicity of it, but things are a little bit more difficult. And that's why I always come back to, well, what's your values and what's your goal? Does this align with who you want to be, what you want to do, where you want to spend your time? If it doesn't, let's get rid of it. Move on.
How do you do that, though? That's hard. That's a behavior modification.
It is. It also means just spending time with yourself, which we don't do very often, either in meditation, which is good for your health, by the way.
Right.
Or by scheduling an appointment with any sort of a coach or a really good friend who can hold you accountable. And you want to ask yourself these questions. What is it I'm up to this year? What do I want to do? And does the stuff around me actually support it?
Dorothy, you've been a pleasure, an organizing genius, and I'm sorry you had to go through those belly button lint bags. We have been talking with the author of Stuff Your Face or Face Your Stuff, Lose Weight by Decluttering Your Life, Dorothy the Organizer Breininger. Dorothy, thanks a lot. We'll talk again soon.
I hope so. Thanks so much.
Thank you. All right, coming up next, Jaden Sterling is going to teach us wealth for health. You're going to enjoy this guy. He really is amazing of what he's done. All right, join us at latenighthealth.com, latenighthealth.com. Don't go away. More coming up.